Hello everybody, Crypto Chaperone here, and today I've got a little bit of news for you. I'm going to try to squeeze in a quick little video for you guys about some cryptocurrency news that's been going on and some things that might influence the market and some even things that are going to help spread cryptocurrency to more people. And also some things that are going to help to cut back on scams and things that are influencing you. So over the past 24 hours, I'm sure you guys have noticed the markets have been seeing a little bit of red. And I know as soon as you see one dip, you're kind of like, yes, okay, the dip's over. I'm going to buy, I'm going back in, we're going up. And recently we've just kind of had these kind of steps going downwards where we have a little bit of a dip and then we regain a little bit and then we start to dip off more. And essentially, it's kind of the same as how we were going up. We sort of had just more and more news coming out as Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies were gaining traction, and every little bit of news was positive and it was helping the price boost more and more. But now we sort of have this negative news that's coming out, and it's sort of draining the price more and more based on all the negative news that's coming out. So over the past 24 hours, our Bitcoin price is stagnant right now around $10,100. It did drop down into the 9,000s and then it recovered back up into 10,000. So hopefully this is a bottom point for Bitcoin. I mean, it doesn't really matter if it is a bottom point or not. If it's not, it's going to give them regular everyday people who are getting into this more of an opportunity to buy at a lower price. And if it is the bottom point, well, then all I can suggest is potentially, I'm not a financial advisor, this isn't advice, but I mean, I would buy Bitcoin now. I have been buying Bitcoin a lot over the past 24 hours because this is some of the lowest prices that has been around since, before all this big news that people have been jumping into Bitcoin. Bitcoin, I don't think it's been below $10,000 since like December like 10th or something like that. I think after that, it's just been rocketing upward. So there's a lot of news for cryptocurrencies and Bitcoin and everything else that's going to be coming out in 2018. And me and everybody else keeps saying this. Don't get caught up in all this FOMO that's going on and all this FUD and everything. Don't try to sell your coins for one for another. Don't get caught up in these negative downfalls and these downtrends that coins and cryptocurrencies hit and get lost more or less with, get left with less coins and assets than what you originally started with. If you have maybe 10 Bitcoins and you're getting afraid and trying to sell out and buy back in or do something, you might try trading around the markets and come back in with 25% less Bitcoins than you originally had. So it's probably better if you don't know what you're doing to just hold on to your coins. It's been very hectic this past year in cryptocurrencies. I've been very indulged in cryptocurrencies over this past year more or less, and this has been like all I've been doing. So times like this, I like to just kind of relax, get away from cryptocurrencies, not look at the computer and the news and everything that's going on. But then again, I have things like this where I like to come out and make a video and tell you guys what's going on. But recently I've been kind of just relaxing away from the crypto markets and all the stress that they've kind of got with them. And I've been focusing on more personal things that I've got going on in my personal life and stuff like that. Renovations that I've been telling you guys about. But it's been kind of nice just letting these markets kind of dip and having all this, the fear and people that are selling their coins on the FUD, let them do their thing, and it's going to regrow, it's going to come back. And if you guys don't want to take the chance and sell and lose some of your profits, just hold on to it through this haze that we're in right now. So, we don't have very many green coins. They're just scattered in throughout the day, but most of the notable coins that people have been putting a lot of their money in over the past month or two, more or less, as more and more people have been getting into cryptocurrencies, they are kind of down, and they've been down. And if you haven't been selling over the past week or two, why would you sell now? So one of the first things I want to talk about news related wise is why Bitcoin prices are kind of down over the past 24 hours and why cryptocurrency is kind of suffering. Over the past 48 hours, there's actually been news coming out that U.S. regulators have subpoenaed Bitfinex and U.S. dollar tether and everything that is more or less associated with Bitfinex. It's going to be pretty interesting to see where this goes. I know Bitfinex is, I think it's the largest exchange. They handle a ton of daily traffic and everything, and they actually stopped accepting U.S. customers. I think it was around like the middle to end of last year, and ever since then they've kind of had all these eyes on them because they have created this token. It is a U.S. dollar tether token, and essentially what it means is that for every dollar that they have in their reserves or whatever, kept in a side wallet or chain or bank or whatever is equating to a 1-to-1 ratio of this US dollar Tether token. And what that means is if you've got 2 billion US dollar Tether tokens floating around between traders and exchanges and whatnot, then you should have $2 billion locked up in a wallet or some sort of a personal reserve area that is supposed to be associated with the 1-to-1 ratio. And essentially what has happened over time is that a lot of people are starting to call out Bitfinex because there is a lot more of these US dollar tethers getting created than dollars that are actually flowing into their wallets, and a lot more money than is what is actually flowing into a lot of their trades and stuff that are going on. And a lot of this stuff has been tracked by people that have, dug down deep and started looking into this. And they have found that a lot of this, it kind of just looks like faux information that they're putting out. And a lot of this, their 24-hour, more or less, their US dollar tether circulation that they're putting into the markets doesn't really equate to the money that they're getting in return. And also another thing is they are actually just cut ties with their auditing agent, which was Friedman LLP. And if you've been paying attention to anything about Bitfinex, they were actually going to release a couple audits over the past year. They said that they had an auditing team working with them, and they were checking all their stuff and making sure everything was up to date, and they were going to be releasing all their auditing information. And then, they kind of went silent for a few months, and then nothing ever happened. And that was actually, I think, in like the second or third quarter last year. And then we went through the whole third and fourth quarter last year and still heard nothing about the audit being released. And now you see that they are cutting ties with their auditing agent. So definitely not really good things to possibly to hit from this. Essentially what it means is, if something were to happen to this US dollar Tether token, if it were to collapse or crumble, you have people who have invested or traded their, worth asset of a Bitcoin or Ethereum or a Neo or a Walton or whatever, and they traded it over for this US dollar Tether token. And if it completely collapses, this token is going to be worth nothing. So, that could be a huge hit on the cryptocurrency space, as you just had the BitConnect situation come through and wipe out a lot of people's portfolios. You had the token go from, I think it was almost $400, and it went down to like $10 now. So you just had a lot of people who lost so much wealth in that situation, and this US dollar Tether token could cause the same thing. And that's why I personally do not trade into US dollar Tether token when I do anything. If I am feeling kind of scared or worried about anything that's going on, I will just simply go into Bitcoin. But I have only gone into US dollar Tether token, I think 2 times, maybe 3. I'll give myself the benefit of the doubt saying 3 times, but I specifically know 2 times that I have gone into it. And, the whole time that I'm holding this US dollar Tether token, I'm just like, I'm sweating and just waiting for the moment for myself to buy back in, because it's not something you want to get caught holding. You don't want to hold the hot potato, and a lot of people are going to get caught holding this token when it eventually crashes down, and it's going to cause a lot of negative things in the cryptocurrency. And I think the US dollar Tether token will come down in 2018. So this year, I think we're going to see the demise of the USDT. So, on a little bit better news from that, Line, which is actually a social platform in Japan, is looking to integrate its own exchange, Line Pay, and they're going to make it easy for you to buy and sell cryptocurrencies on their mobile exchange app. This is run through an app in Japan, so I don't know if it's going to be used through the US. I would assume not, so it's probably going to be just mostly over in the Asian area and on that continent for now, at least. But as things start to spread out, we already have Coinbase and stuff like that here now. And Coinbase, I think they can use Coinbase, but it's definitely a little bit harder for them to use if they are able to use it. If not, I think they're looking to be able to integrate that soon. But I was seeing a lot of people talk about how Coinbase, if they were not already over in trying to help out the Japan and China region, that they were possibly going to go over there and help out that area by getting them into cryptocurrencies. But I'm not a big fan of Coinbase, so anybody else who could potentially get into this space to help get cryptocurrencies into the regular everyday person easier, especially through a mobile phone where, like 90% of the world owns mobile phones, and there's like 5 times more mobile phones or 10 times more mobile phones in the world than there are actual people in the world, even though most of those phones aren't even being used. There's a vast amount of these phones out there, and this is a huge way for technology to reach other people that don't have computers, or people that don't have even banks in places that they can walk straight up to. Coinbase, you have to have a bank account and everything to tie it to. I'm assuming, obviously, if they've got the regulating, they've registered for their financial services and all that, so they're going to be going through the regulations and all that. So I'm sure it's going to be tied to something that's going to be possibly a bank account or something like that. But it's just nice as these start to go mobile, you're going to spread the theory and the idea of cryptocurrencies, and you're going to spread the ability for more people to have these cryptocurrencies, just to more people. So something else in cryptocurrencies. So if you've been paying attention to Bitcoin ever, you've known that one of the biggest miners in Bitcoin is actually the ASIC miner, and that's the only thing that really mines Bitcoin. And one of the problems was over time that people are competing with this ASIC mining company, and these ASIC miners, they are only producing these ASIC miners to mine at a certain rate. And if you are more or less not a part of a pool or a giant mining farm, there's no way you're ever gonna get the reward for mining Bitcoin. So there's been companies out there over and over who have been trying to create chips and all this other software that can help mine Bitcoin more efficiently to compete with these ASIC miners. And you also have cryptocurrencies out there that are becoming ASIC resistant. And what that means is that they are resistant to these ASIC miners mining them, and it gives everybody more of a fair opportunity to mine them. And what has actually come out now is Samsung has actually stepped up into the game, and they're going to try to create a chip to compete with these ASIC miners. And this is great because this is going to be something, as Samsung, they create everything from TVs to refrigerators to, microwaves, cell phones, everything. So if they can manage to create a chip that can mine not just Bitcoin, but cryptocurrencies in general, they could potentially help to integrate this chip to everyday, appliances like your TV, your cell phone, things like that. And just as they run, these could be mining cryptocurrencies for you, and you could be, deducting your price for what you're paying for cable or electricity or whatnot from the cryptocurrency value that you're making off these, and you can actually maybe even just pay for all of your utilities all in one as you're mining these cryptocurrencies. If not now, even look at maybe 2 or 3 years ago, if you were mining change in Bitcoin and you would have held on to it, it's worth a lot more than change now. So if you're mining change in a random cryptocurrency from your appliance now and you hold it for a year or two, it could be worth an exponential amount from what you originally got it at. So this is going to be something great. This is going to help people to actually compete with the ASIC miners. It's going to give the everyday person a better reason to get into cryptocurrency. And it's, the best thing about it is it's just going to give a competition to the whole ASIC company. And they definitely need it because a lot of people have been trying to get into this and try to create their own software and chips and ways of mining Bitcoins, and it is very hard to compete with. So hopefully Samsung gets it right, and they're a very big technological company. So I'm sure that, once they step into this, they're going to get something right in here. So definitely something big, as I keep talking about, more and more of these bigger companies are getting into cryptocurrencies. If it's not Kodak creating their own coin, it's Samsung that's looking to help mine coins. So as time goes on, cryptocurrencies are going to start to absorb everything around you. If it's not, one thing, it's another. They're going to be into this space. They're going to try to get their foot in the door because this is a huge space financially, technologically, everything. This space is going to grow. So I'm going to leave you guys with one last bit of news. I know, as I talked about in this video, how the BitConnect thing fell and how US dollar tether could fall and the negative repercussions of all that. And, as you're on the internet and you're scanning sites and all that, you might be seeing ads and stuff for some of these sites. I know I was seeing ads for, I think it was like BitPetite, after BitPetite even fell and ran off with everybody's money, I was on CoinMarketCap and I forget where else, maybe Facebook, and I was still seeing these ads for BitPetite, and you would follow the ad and it wouldn't even lead you to a page because they already ran off with everybody's money. So in light with that, Facebook has actually decided to ban all ads promoting cryptocurrencies. So, if you even Google Bitcoin or look at Bitcoin or even talk about Bitcoin, more than likely your phone or an electronic around you is going to pick that up, and cookies store all this information. And it's pretty crazy how all this stuff is heard, even if you are not directly typing it into your phone and you're talking about Bitcoin a lot, your phone can even potentially hear these kinds of things. And, as you're scrolling through Facebook, the random sponsored ads that come up start to be things that you talk about in your everyday life. And if you are very big into cryptocurrencies and stuff like I am, pretty much every time I go on the internet, the only pop-ups I ever get are cryptocurrencies and ICOs and things like that, Ledger wallets, Trezor wallet ads, just things that have to do with the cryptocurrency space. So, it's pretty interesting that Facebook is aiming to ban all of these ads because every ad I go through on Facebook is a cryptocurrency ad, but they're doing this to also help themselves. As you have scammers out there, as I talked about how the BitPetite ad was still up a long time after the site went down, and you have BitConnect that shut down, ran off with everybody's money more or less. I mean, even if they did give you a worthless token for what your money was worth, these things were all promoted in ads, and there could be repercussions for some of these sites if, a regular everyday user goes in and puts their money into this. It would be very hard for them to win the legal dispute after they do invest their money in it, because things like BitConnect did have disclaimers and stuff saying don't invest more than you're willing to lose. This isn't a guaranteed profit generation and all this stuff. So it'd be definitely difficult. But, you could maybe potentially sue the source of where you got the ad, which would be Facebook or Google or whoever, and hold them liable for some of the scams because they led you to that. And without them, you probably wouldn't have even got led astray to that ICO or whatever to begin with. So it's interesting that Facebook is the first place that I've actually seen so far. I don't know if anyone else has, but so far Facebook's the only place I've seen recently that have stepped up to the plate and decided that they want to ban these. And it's pretty interesting because right here, you see, I'm sure everybody's seen this James Altucher guy. I think that's how you, Altucher, I don't know how to pronounce his last name, but even people, I'm friends with people who are in their 50s, 60s, 70s, and they get on Facebook, and I talk to them about cryptocurrencies, and they're like, oh, I saw on Facebook some wiry, weird-haired guy trying to tell me about cryptocurrencies, and I'm like, first thing I think about, I'm like, yep, I know who that is. And it's literally just anybody, if you invested $100 or $200, or if you randomly mined Bitcoin for any reason, you've got this coin that was worth nothing and now it's worth something. You're not a genius. I've been in this for a long time. I'm not a genius. Telling anybody to pay for something, I think he was selling his course for like $100 and he was trying to claim it was like 50% off or something like that, and it was originally supposed to be a lot more. If you're going on to places like this and you're paying somebody $100, $200, $500 for random cryptocurrency information, what are they really providing you with? Are they telling you the coin to buy into? Are they telling you how to look for a coin to buy into? Because, I mean, at a time like this, I would love this guy's information. If he can tell me today what coin I can buy into and it's going to make me 10, 20% tomorrow, this guy's a genius. But I mean, before this week, this guy was probably looking like a genius as the markets were going up, and now he looks like a complete idiot. So, while the markets are going up, you can't really associate anybody telling you to buy a coin, even if it goes up 5 to 10 times in that span. You can't really say that, they told you to do something and they foresaw that, or, whatever. When the markets are going up, all the ships are rising more or less in cryptocurrencies, unless something crazy happens, like the whole BitConnect thing where they fell and, some were still going up. Mostly if, $200 billion gets pumped into cryptos, all the cryptos are going to go up. You're not going to look like a genius. I mean, you will look like a genius if you're selling this to people who don't, look into cryptocurrencies every day or, do any research or look at news in general. But if you're somebody, all you have to do is go onto YouTube and type in cryptocurrency news and set your filter to the last 24 hours or the last hour or whatever you want it to be set to. And you go through and just look at all the information you can. And you don't need to pay for these people's information. I see people selling courses for $2, $3, and $500 online, and I'm not understanding why, if you have $500, why you would invest it in. If you're in cryptocurrencies, you're probably here to make money. So if you have $500, maybe you have like $5,000 as your total capital. Why would you not just put $5,000 into something instead of $4,500? Like, if you're going to invest into this, go out and do your research. Don't listen to what other people are saying. That's the best thing I can tell you guys to do. If you go out, however you find that information, if you go out and you hear 15 people talking about correlating information and you say, okay, that might be something good to maybe research about, or maybe that coin, I'm not actually going to go research it, but 15, 20 people are talking about it, and there's a majority of people are saying better things than, negative things, then maybe you could take that as being a positive thing for the coin and investing in the coin from there. I mean, I'm not going to tell you how to invest in your things, but if you go out and you look at stuff and you only see 1 or 2 videos saying, yeah, invest in this coin, or you see 20, 30 videos, or you see a majority, you see a nice split down the middle, kind of like BitConnect. And you have people out there showing off their, BMWs and their resorts and stuff like that, saying, oh, buy BitConnect, you could live like this. But those are the only people living like that. You don't see anybody else in the comments section posting pictures or talking about how they live great off BitConnect. There are people that say, oh, I paid my rent, this month with some money I made off BitConnect, and I invested 3 months rent into it. So hopefully BitConnect doesn't shut down within the next 2 months and I lose all my rent. But it was nice to pay my rent this month. While these people are, making more off their referrals than the BitConnect system could ever offer them in their lifetime. And you're looking at it and you're thinking, wow, this BitConnect system could work, when a lot of these are just, referral scheme, Ponzi scheme systems. So just to enlighten on this whole situation, it kind of just all ties back in together, and it's going to help really get rid of the negative things in cryptocurrencies, the scams, the things that aren't solid. And, as you have more and more of these companies come into cryptocurrencies, especially through this 2018 years, you're going to start to see just the whole world is going to start to focus on cryptocurrencies this year, because they have so much to offer and they can cut every corner out that we have been rounding. And, there's no reason for you to take all these extra steps to do something, more or less, if you can just do step A and B. A and B, that's all you have to do. You don't have to do A, B, C, D, E, F, G to get your money from point A to point B or whatever. Cryptocurrencies cut out all the hassle in just everyday life. And we're going to start to see that more and more as time goes on. That's all I've really got for you guys today. I dragged this video on a little longer than I wanted to, but hopefully you guys stuck through it. Hopefully going to be coming out with another video real soon. Been pretty busy lately, but if any information like this comes out or something like that, I've got some wallets I want to talk to you guys about very soon. Some mobile wallets that I've been very pleased to use and have been working very well for me. So I want to share that information with you guys in hopes that you guys store your cryptocurrencies safely off exchanges and stuff like that in personal wallets. And I'm going to be talking about some things of just ways to hold your cryptocurrencies well, not lose money, don't do stupid things with your cryptos and all that. So hopefully I've got stuff like that coming out in the next week or so. And I've also got some exchange videos I want to talk about, how to use like BANS exchange and stuff like that. As my only exchange video on here right now is Bittrex, and I do not use Bittrex anymore because Bittrex has been... they've been kind of shady for a little bit. Their support, a lot of these exchanges can't keep up with support that's going on. I know even a lot of people are, raving about Qcoin and stuff like that. But anytime I look at Qcoin, I just see people that can't get a hold of their support, and their support tickets have been sitting for days, and their transactions are lost in the middle of their transaction or whatnot. It's sent and they haven't received it. So, more or less, if you're in these cryptocurrency exchanges, you might draw the short straw no matter what you're doing, and you could have a completely great day and a completely great cryptocurrency career, and then all of a sudden one of your transactions goes bad and you're the person that's stuck with the transaction support ticket problem waiting to get answered by support. So I try to do as little trades as I can on as least risky exchanges as I can. So Binance has actually been one of my favorite exchanges recently. They have so many people coming into it, though, that they could run into some problems. I know they had server problems over the past couple weeks, that they were updating their app and their websites and stuff like that, and they've actually shut down their new user registrations, and they only open those, I think, for like an hour or two a day now. And they kind of throttled the users that can sign up to their site because they had so many signing up. They had days where they were getting 250 and 300,000 users signing up just in that allotted period of time. So when you have all that going on, and you're going to continue to have all that going on because people think that they are missing the boat on these cryptocurrencies, and you're just going to see a lot of people want to get into it, and you're going to see a lot of these exchanges have to upgrade their servers and everything that they're doing to keep up with all the traffic that's going on. So definitely maybe get on Twitter or whatnot, and if you are looking to get into a new exchange or something, if you're having problems with your exchange, definitely do your research on the exchange that you're getting into. On your search bar on Twitter, possibly just type in the name of the exchange and see what the latest tweets are, if anybody's been having problems with the exchange, if people have been more just ragging on the exchange, or they've been giving it compliments, see if it's a good or bad exchange. I know you're always going to have kind of the trolls out there that are just saying random stupid stuff all the time, but it'll definitely help you. Any little bit of research or any little bit ahead you can get in cryptocurrencies to kind of know what could possibly happen. Like if I go onto this exchange and I make a Neo withdraw, my Neo might get locked up or might have a problem because 30 other people today had a problem with Neo. Or I saw on Coinbase a while ago, back in December, there was a lot of people who were trying to put money in December 15th. And their money was not coming through. Even I think it was at the beginning of January or the first week of January, people were waiting for like 3 weeks, and their money still had not been deposited onto the app or onto the platform yet. So it doesn't really matter who you're using. A lot of these exchanges and middlemen that help everyday users get into cryptocurrency are going to start seeing an overflow of users getting into them. So you're going to have to work with these, and you're going to definitely want to do your research and try to avoid the ones that are getting so many users that they can't keep up with it. Binance is kind of like that, but they've been keeping up with everything, and I haven't had any problems. So that's kind of why I want to make an exchange video about them. So that's all I've got for you guys today. Hopefully you guys have a great day and enjoy your cryptocurrency portfolios. Even if they are looking a little bit red today, you just want to hold on to those. You don't want to lose out on any potential gains that this could go up, and you're selling at a low point. If you had a coin that was at $1.50 and today it's at $45 or $40, why would you sell? It's going to go back up to $50. You're just cutting yourself money by selling it cheap. So hold on to those coins, don't sell cheap, and I'll talk to you guys real soon. Enjoy.